Welcome back, YouTube. MTG Joe here, just getting set up. We are going to be doing some more runs of the Historic Metagame Challenge. We did a run Friday. We got 4 wins with Azorius Artifact. Saturday, I went to my RCQ and had one of the worst days of Magic I've had in a while. Went 1-3. Funnily enough, the one win I got was against a player who made the Pro Tour just then, but I lost all the other rounds, which just didn't come together. Today we're going to start off with Boros Convoke. So we are going to be playing a bunch of cheap creatures, and we got a new card in here with Ruby Collector. So it's kind of the cycle of creatures that have a condition, and then you get a power 9. So this one is when you attack with 3 or more creatures, you conjure Mox Ruby to your hand. This ability only triggers once, and then you can pump your team. Notably, this artifact, it's free to play. You can cast it, and then we have both Gleeful Demolition and Kadaltha Rebirth as cheap ways to convoke out. Otherwise, just a bunch of cheap creatures, the Loxodons, Knight Errants. I fixed up the mana base from what was on Untapped. I put some Myrics in, some utility lands. The sideboard, I opted to go without Jingantha. I played 17 lands, so it's very unlikely I'm going to be getting to 5 mana. And then I also, in the deck, have Sunbake Canyon. So I'm more likely than not going to be cycling those. So I have Authority of the Councils versus like Wizards, Aggressive decks, Mirror, 3 Shove-asides for creature decks, Wizards, Revoker for any sort of activated abilities, Sorns, things like that. Fragment, Path, just as catch-all removal, full set of Invasion versus Control, and then Brotherhood's End seems odd in here, but we're going to be doing it for Destroy All Artifacts. As Mia mentioned in the chat just before, Brotherhood's End and Divine Purge is very bad versus the artifact, like very strong versus the artifact decks. Divine Purge is very nasty versus us as well, but it gives us a kind of one-sided sweeper. So I want to try this out here, and we'll jump in and get going. Hey John, hey Golter, we're live, so you'll see the chat pop up. We're going to do some runs, see how it plays out. I want to do this, and then I want to try, depending on how the games go, to recreate. There's a black-white mid-range deck that's #1 mythic right now. John actually played against it one day, and I got like pieces of the deck, but I don't have the full 75, so we're going to try to reverse engineer that one maybe as well, depending how things go. We'll have this up as a VOD afterwards as well. I apologize in advance because the YouTube, how it works, it's kind of silly that when you do the VOD, you can't set the ads for like the first 12 to 24 hours, so they put a lot of ads. I apologize, I can't control it. As soon as I can get in, I usually drop the ads, and then just cut it down to like 2 or 3 as opposed to what it puts, but we'll give this a shot. Probably Historic's pretty solid right now. You can play like Wizards, it's pretty cheap and it's very powerful. Kind of the combo, I think we try this. We hit a land I can convoke onto. Wizards would probably be my best bet, I'd say. Is the game audio okay volume-wise, or is it a little loud? So I could Gleeful here. Probably what we do. So we'll start with attacking. Didn't hit a land, which is a little annoying. It really depends on your play style, like what you like doing most. We hit a land there, we were going to go off. Okay, we got the Coyote deck. Even a land just to get the case going. This deck does hate us. The Sentinel. Get both of those. Timeless is probably the hardest to rank up in. I'd say it's probably got the spikiest players. There's not really a lot of opportunity for jank. Like, you could lose basically on turn 1, maybe not lose the game, but effectively lose the game. If they like turn 1 Vein Ripper, they could turn 2 Show and Tell and actually win the game with Dark Ritual. I find Timeless and Explorer to be the hardest. Explorer's got a lot of like pretty spiky players, I find. Someone brought their Thunder Junction draft deck. Yeah, I actually picked it up from, I went through your Untapped, John, and I found the match, so I have it pulled up just to see what cards they played. It was like Bronco, Juggernaut Peddler, Sheoldred, like a whole bunch of interaction. A few people have run into that player. I could not find their list anywhere online, their full list. Jeez, we are never hitting a land in this deck. They double block here, it's fine. Get this going. So now we've done all this with one line, which is like just really strong. All right. One land, it was a pain line. We did more damage to ourselves than our opponent. So they are like miscellaneous aggro. So I don't want to overboard in this match. They did show some haste creatures. So I think we just bring that and the shove-asides in. Outside of that, I can see just maybe cutting these Esper Sentinels. And maybe an Ornithopter. Like in the dark, it's just the worst of the creatures. Yeah, take a look. Like Wizards is going to be very popular. There's basically kind of 2 iterations. There's a more burn-focused version, and there's a version that plays Treasure Cruise. But it's extremely explosive. Flame of Anor just kills people quick. Okay, so we got the combo here of Thraben into Gleeful into Knight Errant on 2. But like with that, you have to like aggressive decks. If you want to see what a list looks like, there's like a 2-minute video that I put up on my channel. It's a dump of all the deck lists. You can find one there that's been pretty strong. Okay, so here, we make red mana. We Gleeful here. We Thraben, or Novice Inspector. All right. So it turns out when you dump your hand on turn 2, it's pretty good. One zero. So usually you want to get GG's. The only thing is, like, blue-white strong, I just would never want to play the mirror. It's fine. Jade, thank you for the follow, sub, YouTube. Okay, so I think depending what they lead will indicate if I want to go a Novice or Esper Sentinel on one. I think if we do a second run with this, I do want an 18th land. Hello. Merfolk. So lucky. Okay, so we could dump our hand at least. Cenote. Honestly, if you're struggling on lands, that's a pretty solid play, all things considered. So, red, Adoltha, Warden, Knight Errant. Okay. Only finding one there kind of sucks. But if opponent taps out, I have Case, which is nice. I could... I think we Case here still. I think we just attack with the 3 this turn. And then I scry to try to find a land. Cool. I thought they might have had Jimenez, the flash rifle. They could have Coco here, but I think that's fine anyways. So I'm going to play this now because this might get them to Coco and respond. Okay, they don't. So... I think we just go to attacks. They give us... Like, they're going to be playing from pretty far behind here. Even if they Coco, they hit 2 creatures. My board's so wide. So they go Coco here. Card. Because even if I have to kind of take a turn off here, it's not the end of the world. They probably block. Like, they're probably going to have to trade. Unless they hit a couple lords. So, like, they can Vode in here. I think I would have probably just blocked the Warden if I was them. Yeah, like even so the reason I kind of wanted to play this, so I played the RCQ yesterday. I was really hyped up to play Gruul. My buddy who I dragged along threw together Convoke and literally won the whole thing, got the qualification, didn't lose a match the entire event. So we'll play Path here, I think. So against their deck, I don't think I want Esper Sentinel. It drew us a card there, but it's just not consistent enough. I could play Authority. Like, they have Coco that makes it a little annoying, but I don't think like Coco enough. And they're pretty dense in terms of creatures. This is... so my RCQ is Pioneer. I played Gruul Slickshot, the one I was playing in Explore. I think we run it like this. Hey! He's back. The Ramos the third. In a long line of Ramoses. Rami. It's a bit slow, but I could still do the turn 2, so I think we keep it. Because Knight Errant can then help me just refill my hand. I could basically play out my whole hand next turn. Which is kind of sweet. They might have a counter spell here. So I'll lead with that. So a little annoying. I can't do the Convoke now. I also can't turn on Ruby. So they bin that, which is a good start. So I can attack with 3. Get 2 Mox Rubies. The mirror for wizards, anything that's like hasty. Okay, so they trickster here again, which is fine. So no attacks. I think this turn I just venerated. Like, Myrix is a little annoying there. If it was a white source, we could have done this and then tapped as well, which would have been solid. It's like Arcanist with haste and they get you. Slick Shot, whatever it is, gets you. Okay, so they're trying to find double Lord here. Okay, this turn's gonna be pretty sick. Just gotta sequence this right. They could double block here, but it's not really worth it for them. So Mox Ruby, Mox Ruby. Make red mana. I think it's probably because we have the double collector, we have the mana, so I think it's actually like this that we do it. Then one, two, three, 4, 5. And I can tap that, but I think we're fine because I could just do a pump if needed. And then we kind of go from there. Nice Ethno. Hey David, how's it going? Yeah, drop it in the chat, like in the like on one of the YouTube comments. I'll probably do Historic Festa one next week for the videos. So if you just drop it, I usually try to do towards the tail end. I do like the top 5 now, and then like community decks that are doing well. Okay, so another Lord here. I get the Merfolk trigger there. So the biggest thing, Santiago, like the more aggressive decks tend to be faster just from games played. But it's ultimately like what you like to play. If you're playing like if you're not having fun, it's just not worth it. Like there's decks that are strong that just like Kethis is a very strong deck. I have no interest in playing it. Yawgmoth is a very powerful deck. I just don't want to play it. So it really depends on like what you kind of want to get out of it. Yeah, John, I saw the list you were playing. I was watching even earlier with Nerdy Steve. He was playing your list. Okay, so we could swing in here. How do I want to do this? This could scry. I don't really care for that. I can Novice Inspector. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe you should have done the ruby collectors here. So I'm a little worried about just dying on the crackback here. I think we just do this. I want to try to find a land. They could have another Lord, which I'm a little afraid of. And then we have the chumps. Jubin, thanks for the follow. And then the Ruby's been pretty solid so far, Kev. So yeah, if you're more aggressive, Wizards and Historic's a very fast deck to farm with. The Convoke decks are very strong. Convoke basically buys you into almost every format. I got jealous, Kevin, that you did well with Convoke, so now I'm a Convoke gamer. No attacks. So they can like Alpha Strike, but I can do some blocks here. So we're doing this all with 2 lands, which is pretty sweet. See if they attack in here. Yeah, I saw you guys talking. Do you know what store is doing the RC today? I'm gonna do the one in 2 weeks. It's only a 1 slaughter though. So Ruby threatening here is pretty solid. We probably take 5 and then just throw some damage in the way. Good multi-block. We'll just do this. I actually didn't need to throw all of it in the way, but they get the block anyways, so it's fine. Okay. Ornithopter, not great. So I have 2 pumps out of them by not playing anything. I also have Knight Errant, which doesn't do a huge amount. I think I want to try to find a removal spell. I can just like keep poking in the air here. And then I can do some chump blocking, which is pretty nice. Like they don't get great lines here. So they play a couple Merfolk. I can get some blockers out of the way. The Ruby collectors have been pretty solid so far, Kevin. It lets you go a little lighter on lines. Like I'm only doing 17. I think I want 18 though. If we do a second run, I'd go on 18. And if they don't do anything here, I could just make a Myrex token. Okay, so they're going all out here. So block, 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 block. See what they do here. So they can double Lord here. I think they should have Coco'd first. Okay, so they did hit the double Lord. So that actually beats me. Okay, so we did clear out a lot of stuff here, which is nice. That's 7 here. So I can Warden. I can Knight Errant. Warden. Still the pump available. One, two, three, 4, 5. kind of go from there. Hey GDX, how's it going today? I don't think I had lethal on them because they had the blockers back. I had 2 pumps, so that was 6. They had the blockers, so it wasn't. I can take out Master here with the pump. Being kind of stuck on lines hasn't been great. 1 Coco, 2 Cocos. Probably just doing that. Takes off 1 more body. It's not terrible. That's good. So I can shove aside on their turn. So we'll do it on their upkeep. So they can technically stack stuff to try to counter this, but this will tap them out of mana on their turn. If they have another Coco, they have another Coco. This gets rid of the Lord effect here. And then next turn, kind of go to town. I'll do the Venerated afterwards. I'll draw another card here. That's not bad. Hey, we hit a land. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just kind of keep going wide on them. We've been pretty solid like with this game. We've operated with 2 lands for a number of turns. They had the Tidebinder. They didn't do it with the trigger on the stack, so we'll take that. Easy games. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson coming through. So we have 3 blockers. Sweet, sweet, sweet. You got there. Pull up the list for folks. They don't really have a way to get through. We don't have islands. There's no spreading seas in the format, so we end up just completely overwhelming them. I mean, they had a bunch of Cocos and stuff. We are just bigger, better, faster, stronger. So this is the list that we're going with. It's in the video description if you're ever interested. Hey, Gruul, doing well. How about yourself? We did not Gruul Smash yesterday. the smashing happened to Gruul. So this is the list we're playing. The card that we are using is Ruby Collector, which pretty much saved our ass that game. But we will continue on our quest for 7 wins. We beat Gruul miscellaneous cards from Thunder Junction that I had in the first match. Game 2, we just bet Merfolk pretty well. They had some nice draws, but flooded the board. Couldn't get through. Playing against Macabros. Play first. Yeah, we'll keep this. There's no payoff, but we might just be able to go wide enough. With this version, you can just keep going wide. And then, like, your Ruby Collector's basically your Lord every turn. We can do Voldaren here. Nice job. We're also playing 17 lines, so playing a 3-drop's kind of tough. Look at this Chad opponent. Okay, so... we can get 2 scries here. Imidane's Recruiter is the card you're probably referring to. I don't think we want the Convoke card right now. It's like, chances are my turn... maybe we do. I kind of want to land for... let's just do this. Kind of wanted to land, but we'll see. Yeah, them using that there is great for us. I can do this for 4. And then I can get another scry, or I can do it for 5. I think we do it for 4. Okay, so it wouldn't have mattered if we did 4 or 5 anyways. You want to try to find a line? Yeah, if we were playing more lines, I'd play it. But we've now gone through like a big chunk of our deck. We're stuck on 2 lines. Okay. Did it matter? Okay, so meta breaker here, especially if they just did the stock list. We have Authority of the Consuls in here. I actually think that might be all we... I would probably play Fragment as well. I think that's fine. It's cheap. It does its job. I don't think we want to overboard. Like, we have access to Brotherhood's End. But this isn't the matchup because we're also playing a bunch of creatures. I think coming out... I actually don't hate Esper Sentinel in this matchup. It's probably just like trimming a couple of these. So they could be on the version that's playing more basics, but I think we just run it like that. Thanks, Rick. It was doing really great on Arena. I did terrible in my RC yesterday with it. I brought that deck. I went 1-3. My only win was against the guy who made the Pro Tour just before, which was funny. It was just a weird day. Like, 2 guys that were there were at the last Pro Tour, and they went 0-3 and, like, didn't even crack the top 8 the other one. I was just kind of a weird day variance-wise. I played 4 matches. I never won this die roll once. I lost every die roll by 1. And then I hard cast Jengantha multiple times yesterday. which is just wild. Okay, so we'll keep here. I'm actually going to lead on Sentinel on 1 because it can potentially draw us a card. My buddy in chat here, he won the whole thing, didn't lose a game with Convoke. So 2 of the 4 guys in my play group have qualified for the RC. Okay, this is probably pretty solid for us if they're... because we can probably match them and then get a card draw. Yeah, you don't want to be on the hard cast Giganta life. So the only downside is I can't like do all of this turn without sacking my Esper Sentinel, which I don't think that's right, so I'll do this. I'll do this. Last turn. Next turn, I have access to case the Warden and then play my own Warden. Like, if they're doing this, it's a good sign. Okay, so top. So it could be a land. Can't pay the tax. Oh, that's actually great for us, because now I get to flip mine. Okay, so that's 5 creatures, 5 toughness. So I opted to not go with Warden here, just in case they had another case. Like, none of these creatures are great for them to hit. Like, they've already wasted 1 in the previous game, like on a mid creature. And like now this also makes my Esper Sentinel bigger. Oh, that's... when they're cracking the clue, it's not a great sign for them. So they could Convoke here. Like, normally in these creature matchups, you don't want Esper Sentinel, but this deck incidentally plays a whole bunch of non-creatures. Like the 8 Kadoltha effects, your 4 cases. Happen an opponent. I'm not going to offer my 1/1s, or like my 1 toughness. Like here, they effectively have to double block. And when you prioritize in terms of dealing the damage, you want to take them off white creatures as much as possible, since their big Convoke cards are white, so they could technically not get it free. They would have to use a land in that case. Oh, and it's in the tank. So I can basically play out my hand now. Slow rolling, bad manners, salt roping. What do we got? No blocks for them. So 1, 2, 3 here. not want Sunbaked Canyon. 1, 2, 3. Ruby's actually pretty sick here. You never know, John. Maybe they just really have to think, am I going to take a pain damage from my Battlefield Forge? We got the Rock in the house, Dwayne. Don't even have good attacks here. 3, 5, 11, 13. So they're close to killing us if we tapped out. I could Ruby Collector and pop my team. I don't think we need to... I mean, we're so far ahead, there's no sense of, like, losing to something stupid. Okay. Just to be sure. Yeah, like, they didn't... I didn't know if they had something, like, weird pump effects. Like, there's Requisition Raid, but I think that's Sorcery Speed. When you're that far ahead, just play it safe. Like, with the Ruby next turn, I have a huge pump in terms of damage. So they weren't going to do, like, too much there. Alright. Up to 3 wins. So we got our gold back. We're up 3 packs. We'll try to go for 5 packs now. Get that value. Oh shit, Mysmin. I think he was on Rakdos combo. We're gonna have to mulligan this, I think. Not great, but it'll suffice. If the pathway was a duel, we would have kept that first hand. Yeah, he was on the Mardu Vampires list. Thank you. Case isn't great, but it could be used in a pinch. $16. So not the fastest start, but it'll have to do. So we'll get rid of the priest here. Try to find some big play. Inspiring Vantage does not count as a big play. So if they go Vein Ripper here, it's pretty gross. They go the like Sorin, that Glen. Crucius is fine. They could have Fatal Push. Because like I could attack with Warden here. Guess it depends what we draw. Because I also have access to just check, like cycling the Sunbay Canyon. Pretty good. Again, I don't think we want Gleeful. Doesn't do enough. That takes him to 8. I get to draw a card here. They could have the Fatal Push, do a post-combat, but they're going to take some damage. They went Greater, so Greater probably sets them up to always have like a Vampire. I'm glad. The deck's pretty sweet. So I can do this, that just gets me more power, but just in case I draw a land, do that. I don't think they Thoughtseize here. They've drawn 2 pushes now. 3 pushes? So that still gets me Ornithopter. They can Priest of Fell Rites back, but that doesn't actually do much for them. We'll do this. Sets us up pretty well. They go Vein Ripper. I can beat the Vein Ripper. Got him. Got him! Probably not Black Sun. The Nivs decks aren't really like the playstyle I enjoy. Okay, so Invasion in here. The Revokers to name Sorin. And probably just the Path coming out. So they have Fragment, but they probably take out the Fragments. I think I still want the Case. Maybe we trim on a Case. Yeah, probably trim 2 cases. It's iffy. Like going wide's the key here, I think. I do still want Ruby. Maybe just trim a Venerated. With these like challenges, because they tend to run a little long, like we've approached an hour now and we're playing an aggressive deck. I usually just like the decks I usually like to play is usually kind of the way I approach it. A little slow, but Sentinel on 1's got a lot of utility, I think. And then I get access to Invasion. So I can hit like Sorin or something like that. Classic Mysmin in the tank. Alrighty, bud. Let's go. A little bit painful in the mana base, but I think we're fine. I did ninjas last time, Blackson. So I have a full run. The deck doesn't change too much other than Satora. Maybe I should have kept one Ornithopter in. I think we do that post board if we go to game 3, just because it gives us... So they're at Priest. I think we need to do this. So I can name Pest Control. Just probably the line. Make them spend 4 mana here. And then I'm just going to Convoke out with the Loxodon here. So Convoke here, that gives me that. I shock in. I think that's fine. Didn't need to shock then. Forgot you could respond to Gleeful. I think Doomwake was trying out a version. So I'm going to do this. I just want to Convoke something big out. Again, I know they have Pest Control, but this will force them to do the Pest Control at this point. Okay, they didn't get a big one either, so that's pretty good. So we'll see Pest Control here. I can attack into the Invasion. Okay, see that as expected. Since we know they have Pest Control, I need to board a little different. I think if I were to play Lookout, it would be in like a Field of the Dead. I forget the name of the card. The Goblin, not Bombardment. The one that whenever a creature comes to play, it deals a damage. So we got a counter. We just need to dodge a Reanimate effect for 1 turn. Because then I can kill the Priest here. Bit of a slow hand. They just Priest the Priest, that's fine. Soul's a 6/6. They have to activate that as a sorcery. They got a 6/6. Gotta try to find some action. Hey. Would have been good last turn. Destroy target artifact. That works. Hello. So they can reanimate it with Priest, but they took themselves off 3 lines here. And now, notably, this is a 6/6. So I can force the attack into it. They don't have the mana to make it indestructible. Nice pest control. Also have access to Iganjo. Mika, thank you for the follow. We just passed turn here. Fabla. Get rid of that. Now they're just limited what they can do with mana. And they have Pest Control and Brotherhood's End in here. Pest Control's sick. Like, it absolutely dumpsters my deck. Got him! Beat the mighty wizard Mysmin. Boro. The server has died. Let me just restart the server if it's giving me those issues. That was a good match. We interacted with them enough and then just won with like dorky beats. I think pushing off, I think even just the knowledge of pest control, whatever it's called, made us play the game different, because otherwise we would go all in and I feel like we overcommit and they get us that way there. The other thing I could have done there was taken the Fatal Push, which forced them to give me a card drop, but we did our thing. We hit 5 lands, so technically we could have cast a Jing up at that. game. I'll probably cut the Myrex after this game. I wanted to try it out. I wanted a utility line, but it's hurt us more than it's benefited us. I've yet to activate it, and it's hampered our mana. I just wanted to try it out. I like having the access because it creates artifact tokens as well. So it's got some like dual utility, but I think in the formats like in Explorer and Standard, you probably play closer to 20 lands as opposed to 17, so you're probably more likely to actually activate it at that point. But we've been killing it so far. I actually don't think we have lost a single game. Could be mistaken. Luris. I think we keep this. So I didn't go with the Kadoltha here because the one basic island, they play Spell Pierce in their list. Yeah, we haven't lost a single game yet. So they can Spell Pierce us here. Okay, so they don't have it. So just two one-landers going at it. They're on ninjas. Oh, it actually could be blue-white artifacts. No, ninjas. That was good. No tax. I was thinking about playing the Esper Sentinel, but... Hey, Mason. Generally, I don't play control decks. I don't enjoy the mirrors, so I tend to avoid them. I used to only play control when I was play paper, but the card that broke my love of control mirrors was Dovin's Veto. Try drawing a card, or I could just Gleeful. Could also just destroy this artifact. Probably just... This game's been pretty dumb so far. I just need a payoff. I think Bina was playing it, if I'm not mistaken. So we definitely don't want... I think I'm just gonna hold this for now. It's just a play style of like having access to uncounterable. I like the counterspell duels and stuff like that. Giving us a card draw here is nice. So I haven't seen too many rogues lists. A lot of them are the Dimir Ninjas. I guess the question's just like, what do you get from that? Azorius is strong. Divine Purge in this current meta is very powerful. And then Kalim, like the combination of Purge and that, I think is very strong. So like they can make 4/4s here, but I could just jump block. Could also play with my life total. Changeling Outcast is a problem. That's a great draw. So we don't actually care about that so much. We just want to flip here. Because now I might be able to get close. The Azorius decks are like these. Purge kills ninjas pretty bad. It hurts our deck. Like there's a lot of just Luris piles going around. So here. Actually interesting because we can just do this. It's not even worth it, I don't think, poking for one. Because I can't really afford to play spells here. Any spell draws me at least 1 to 2 cards. That's 9. And 11. Maybe we do start attacking in. We just need to hit like a single convoke creature. Another case would be good. Okay, this is actually ridiculous. That was the one thing I was a little worried about. They get to ninja in here. I get some a card draw. So yeah, it wasn't worth that line. Thank you. One, two, three, 4, 5. Hey Ethna. Yeah, if you want to drop it, I'm happy to take a look. I just say I'll probably only take a look like after. So if you just want to drop it in like any of the comments, happy to take a look then. Draw a card here. So here it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything's so tiny. We'll probably just alpha attack next turn. Especially if they have outcast now. Okay, so if they do that, they have 3 blue with enough ninjas that they can kill me. So I think I have to try. It's just very likely I die next turn, so... If you're gonna drop it, Ethno, do it as a deck, like a export string. If you put links sometimes in YouTube chat or like in the comments, it flags it as spam. Okay, enough. I didn't feel like doing the math. Yes, against ninjas. So the enter the battlefield tap doesn't really matter. Fragment, path to exile, shove aside. All reasonable. I do want the Ornithopter just because it's a flyer. I think we... maybe trim on the Kadoltha effects, trim on a Venerated. Trim on Epicure. Still think Esper Sentinel's fine. Trim on Ruby Collector. It's going to be hard for us to attack in. Might be better then to just keep the Epicure in over. The Collector here. I don't know, I figure, because the thing is, they more than likely have me dead the next turn with the unblockable because they have the ninja. That's like the only way they kind of get us. With Thousand Face Ninja, you create the loop. So Fragment's a little worse here because they have they have Ornithopter in their deck. So they will get a loop here. So I'm going to do it this way. Because this is free to cast again, that's going to cost them mana. So it could potentially get them to tap out. Also the ninja element of it. This isn't a ninja though. We do need a flyer here. That'll be good for a subsequent turn. Make a warden here. Gonna do that. So I think this time we will do this. It saves us a point of damage, and they have enough mana to pretty much play through their stuff. They could Thousand Face. Ornithopter. Could take a chance, but I think we're just doing it like this. That's probably fine. They're gonna have access to quite a few ninja effects, and I want to kind of force a counterspell maybe out of them or something. Get some utility there. They could have another ninja, so... Token here. We're getting close to dead, which is a little scary. Realistically... I need removal more than anything, so... Okay. I just gotta try to survive this turn. So I do need to block Thousand Face Ninja here. Luris to hand. I do have access to shove aside. This will give me flying. Just need more removal. Might have to hit Luris is the problem. Back me there. Get rid of the token, that doesn't do much. They have Luris, that returns to hand. That way they only hit me for 2. They can't get it back next turn. That means that has to be a land. Kind of annoying, because everything else draws me a card. Need removal. Need removal. I might just be dead. Stream didn't die, did it? Yeah, they got it. They got it. I mean, we had a pain land and then just never saw anything, so you can't do much in those circumstances. My computer glitched for a sec. Wondering if the life is relevant. I mean, Fragment's not that great. On the draw, maybe just try to go more aggro than them. So just play the Kadolfa again. Do it like that. That one was tough. I could have taken out their flyer, but then they lure us it back. That might have been the right line. Alright. Hand looks better. So I could Voldaren on one. No, I need to Sentinel on one, because then I could Voldaren and Warden on two. Very Seer. I might just have to kill that. They have both that I'm less interested in doing so. So then we probably, because then next turn I can just double kill something. I care about that? No. I either want like removal or I guess maybe. Next turn I can just attack with like the case. Just attack in. So I'm on the play. So this doesn't go first. I think at this point we just kill. Because like I can't really keep up mana. So at least it just like clears their board. This one's gonna be a little rough. If I could have kept my thing around, I would be in a happier spot. Okay, lures to hand. It's Sunbaked Canyon, try to draw something. So I kill Luris with Case. I can knight, but I don't think I could afford the knight this turn. So I think I'm just slowing him down this turn again. Weird game. With ninjas, more than anything, you want to control their board. That was actually very good. I think I want to play this land because this one's hurting me and I want to eventually cycle it because I don't have red mana, and then I can start making Myrex tokens. The double Ornithopter was like low-key real clutch for us. Another case is nice here. Because this just makes my things huge. So 1,000 face. Got him. Got him! Castron! That was such a weird game. With ninjas, it's just if you control their board. Their creatures are terrible if you don't control... Like, if they're just casting creatures, it's very bad. If you're interacting, stuff like that. So 5 wins, 10 packs. Let's go for 20 packs, 4,000 gold. That opponent did give us our first game loss. We haven't had a match loss, but we've pretty much won every game thus far. Ninjas is tough. Anyone in chat, have you done any runs? Have you got 7 wins? It's been really good. We are 5-0. I've won 2-0 every match except that last one where we 2-1. And we just got out ninja'd. Very aggressive, very punishing. We beat Mysmin. Shadlul. So this hand's a trap. This hand's sick. I'm gonna put back Esper Sentinel because Thraben does it. Give me 1 sec, guys. Just gotta take a picture. We kind of got punished there for doing that, but it'll be okay. If we waited, we really could have gone off. Cool. Cool game, opponent. Thank you for your time. So we saw Fragment, and that it's likely Azorius artifacts. So let's do this. Path to Exile. Brotherhood's End. Take out Esper Sentinel. Fragment's fine, but if I have to cut one more card, probably just an Ornithopter in the dark. Run it back. We're taking a chance. So it could be blue-white control. Sorry, forgot the camera was up. Probably not. It's probably the artifact deck to be on Fragment turn 1. So we'll go Authority on 1. It just gains us a whole bunch of incidental life. Try to just go wide on them. Okay, so we might have misjudged. They might be Esper control. We shall see. Okay, so we definitely misboarded. Are they Esper Raffine? Could be Esper Raffine. I think we're just doing this. I can double block if needed. Auras? Probably not. I don't see Auras playing Fragment and Fatal Push. It's probably like a Diviner package. Oh, it's Reanimator. Yeah. Oh, it's like a Priest deck. Lavinia doesn't actually do anything versus us. What do I have zeros left in my deck? Actually, this does get a little annoying, so... Opponent can't cast spells with mana value greater than the number of lands they control. So I cannot convoke. Whenever our opponent casts a spell, no mana was spent to cast it. Okay, so we just have to spend some mana. One, two, three, four, five. Come on! Ah, that's annoying. No, the second line of text. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was used to cast it, it gets us there. Lavinia, as long as some mana was spent. So we couldn't go Convoke for 0, it wouldn't have worked? Yeah, So Diviner pile. So we definitely misboarded. But doesn't matter. Easy. Don't even know what we're playing against. 3 wins. Boss battle time. Ooh, take a break. No, it's not CMC higher than... I think that's for non-creature. But for creatures, it's just if land wasn't cast. So like if we look at Lavinia... So each opponent can't cast non-creature spells with mana value greater than the number of lands they can control. And then whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana is spent to cast it, counter that spell. So the second half is relevant for Convoke. We just have to pay 1 mana to make it work. If we did 5, then it would have countered it. So that wouldn't have worked. Progetto, you can try dropping the link in chat. It might flag it as like spam. So try that. If not, just drop it like in any of the YouTube videos, the ones that have already been published. And just do it like an arena export. And then we can try to take a look at that. Or in the Discord, if you're part of it, you can drop it there. We can take a look. So we are going for boss battle, folks. We are going for the 7 wins. 7 wins. Convokies. We have lost. We've gone 12-1 in games in the 6 matches. We are going to get our 30 packs here. Feel good. Hands cracked, keep. It might block it, Progetto, if you just do the link. Sometimes it gets funny. Esper Sentinel. I mean, we're going to give him a card here, but the upside's so high. I think it's fine. His next turn. Oh, this matchup's probably terrible. Okay, so I go Ruby Collector here. Pack with 3. Get Mox Ruby. I have no choice here. I have to try to kill Core here. I will get you the link. Give me 1 sec. Yes, sticky fingers. So I could pump here and play everything out. Seems good. Oh, I just had lethal if I double pump. Oh, I'm dumb, I'm dumb, I'm dumb. They only have 1 card. I had lethal. We're just going to pass the turn here. Perfect. Discord for anyone's interested. No, I had lethal. Yeah. Whew, thankfully, we didn't mess that one up. Shove asides. I just want all the removal in this matchup. Probably just cut Ornithopters. Keep one Ornithopter. They'll sometimes have Fragment as their removal spell. A couple Loxodons. We haven't run into Hammer yet, which is encouraging. Okay. Let's try this. I'm gonna lead on this, see if we get something. I think this matchup's probably terrible. I needed a removal spell. Like, we had a good start, but this card just goes crazy. I have Ruby and Warden. Another Esper Sentinel's probably fine. I guess we just try to get, like, these Wardens going, like, these Rubies going. So they haven't shown blue yet, so they might not have the life gain. Okay, that's fantastic. If that's what they're spending their turn on, super happy. So 3/5. They can double block here. I'll take the Esper Sentinel out because I just don't want to give him cards. Because this is just going to get out of hand anyways. So now I have 2 pumps available, and I can Alpha Strike in. Another Ethereal. Getting him to pay the tax is great for us. Okay, so we do have Warden for a turn. Got there! Booyah! We'll pull up the nib list in a sec. Easy. Easy games. Easy games. That's nuts. Alright, we got some Niv here. Let's see what Niv looks like. I own all the cards. It's a good start to Niv. So this is Progettos. There's a Giganta Companion. Starting off the most budget list ever. Niv Reborn. We got some fragments in here. Kroxa, Kavus, Expressive. Just like busted cards central with Leyline. Is there any reason you're not playing Atraxa? I've seen some lists like in Explore and stuff as well. Just play a single copy of Atraxa. I know you can't fetch it off Niv, but it's just powerful on its own. Like that could be interesting. Just like, yeah, these Niv lists are just value piles. Can't play Uro. Can't play Oko. I'm just thinking from like the timeless one. No, we didn't play against those. We played again. I'll pull up the stats. One sec. Give me a sec. So in our run, we only dropped one game. We played like Gruul shitters, like just a budget deck. We played Merfolk. We played the Mirror. We played Mysmin on Reanimator. We played Ninjas. We played that Esper Diviner deck. And then we played Auras. But like 2-0, 2-0, 2-1, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, which is kind of wild. We take those. So I'm probably just gonna crack these packs. I'm gonna wrap it up for this one. I'm gonna go walk my dog, make some dinner, watch the basketball game. I hope everyone's doing well. These lists, this was one of the lists we posted. It's up. I updated the version that we had. The only thing I would say, if you're interested in playing this, we're gonna make this change right now for when I export the list. The Myrex didn't feel great. Just play probably just like another pathway, I would say. You can play a basic mountain if you want, but you want the optionality of white on one. That would be the only change I would make. Kind of going from there. So yeah, we did that. There's a bunch of different deck lists. We got the 7-0 with Convoke. Let me get rid of this. Go away. Go away, Arena. There we go. Yeah, we got 7-0 with Convoke. Look at that. Did you see that? We just opened the Grief. This is like the best thing to open. So in the end, we went 11-1 on Metagame. Probably, I'm off tomorrow. It's a Canadian holiday, so I'll probably try to do one more game. Might do another one in a bit. With Crucius too expensive? I would think. I might come back and do another one later. We'll see. I kind of want to get some ice cream and stuff like that, but thanks everyone for hanging out. Just going to crack these, log off, but have a great one. Stay safe out there, and we'll see.